Thank you, Jessica. First of all, I would like to apologize for my English. I try anyways. I would like to thank the Royal Canadian Navy, Royal Roads University, the Asia Pacific Center for Security Studies, all the organizers, Admiral Madison, Admiral Stanhope, flag officers, presenters, and sponsors. I feel very proud to be here and to have the opportunity to talk to such a distinguished auditorium. In Colombia, we have a small navy with limited high seas defensive capacities, but with a great commitment and with a clear future. So, saying that, I would like to start with a couple of videos trying to show you the real life down there. This is a narco submarine captured last year out of a Colombian coast. By the time we got this submarine was ready to get on the way, fuel, water, supplies, and everything. The only thing missing was the drug. Then we got it about 15 days after that. As you can see, it's very well constructed, less than a year in the Colombian jungles. Fiberglass, carbon fiber, and diesel engine. About 95 feet and 90 tons of displacement. Capacity around 10 tons of illicit drug or cocaine. Okay, this is other examples, fishing vessels, logistic support, liquid cocaine, in hidden compartments. This is a typical chase of a go-fast out of the Caribbean coast. And sometime they will start throwing away the illicit cargo. And this is taken from a Colombian APA. The famous SPSS, self-propelled semi-submersibles. They can carry up to 7 tons of cocaine. This is a chase. This is a towed semi-submersible. This was captured 10 days ago. And this is for you to know how this looks. Is the drug about 1.5 tons in that particular case. And the interesting thing here, that they use these buoys with satellite information. So if the ship gets closer, they just drop it, and they can come back like 2 or 3 hours later, pick them up, and continue the transit. So this is kind of the new trend that we have been expecting recently. So this, okay. With this introduction, I will go to a couple of slides that I bring to you. This is a kind of the real world that we are facing right now in the Indian region, going towards North America, also to the west and to the east right now. The threats, you can see it here. I mean, it's a normal terrorism, weapons trafficking. We were just listening about that. Migration, disasters, smuggling, piracy, and narcotraffic. Talking about this illicit drug trafficking, we have several scenarios. The first one, in the local, let's say the producing country, in this case Colombia or other countries. We have the crops and we have the production. Sometimes in different places. You don't find, right now you don't find the big lab all together. Just one portion, they divide it basically in 3 steps. So it's very difficult to get the whole thing. In the national scenario, you have the illicit traffic inside each country and then the kingpins. In the regional scenario, you have all the distribution, the traffic, precursors. This is a very important point. All these precursors are not produced in the producing countries. They come from the industrialized countries. So Colombia or other countries like Peru, Ecuador, they don't produce those. So there's a big smuggling of this kind of products from industrialized countries. Of course, the distribution and money flows, money launderings and the like. And in the international scenario, we have transnational crime, very important. The liaisons, the international demand. So I always think that this is the driver, the international demand, and money laundering and flows. This is like a general scheme of the routes. Here I have like a comprehensive analysis of the money here. And that will tell you how lucrative this business is. And that's why a lot of people is willing to take the risk. So you have in the country, the leaves itself, 1 ton, about $1,000. And then you start the production line. And you will end around $5,000 out of the coast of the producing country. So you will have some gains over there, like 5 to 1, but this is not the big one. Here comes the big business. From the coast of, let's say, South America, to the coast of the United States, you will have 1 to 5 profits. Almost $30,000 1 kilo. And if you go to Europe, it will be 53,000, so 1 to 9. And that is the whole package. I mean, the kilo itself. If you go like the retailer inside the country, you have to multiply by 6 and by 4. So if you add that, it will be more than 30 or 40 times the gains. So one semi-submersible, that the one I showed you, with 10 tons, will make around $300 million in the first step. Then you have to multiply that by 5 if it reaches the US continent or North America or other countries. So there's a lot of money going on. So a lot of people willing to take the risk. And this is one of the big issues and the big problems. I have here a summary of what happened in 2011. You can see the traffic by go fast was about 80%, top left of the slide. Semi-submersibles, about 7%. These are the seizures, actually. 30.8% in fishing vessels, 3% in the containers, 2% in hiding compartments, small boats, and liquid cocaine, about 1.4. And I'd like to bring you a special issue here. All these boats and semi-submersibles and ships are being used to send the drug. What comes back here? So you can see precursor trafficking, arms, and we have a lot with this, the previous conversation that we have with Dr. Chuck, money laundering, and who knows, WMD? I guess yes. It's very easy to use one of these kind of artifacts to make real damage to any port or any situation. So this is something that we need to aware as navies, as security people all over the world. And it's very easy to build. As I told you, in the jungle, less than a year. And the semi-submersibles, they build those in less than a month. They have that like the production line, only fiberglass, the engine put together, they have the frames and everything good to go. So it's very easy to do things like that. Next step, they can go remote control. And we have seen something similar, as I show you in those buoys that we got 10 days ago. 4 examples that we have. I was mentioning that. The one on the left was seizure 2009. The one on the right, 2010, this is very interesting. This was captured by the Ecuadorian Navy. This is a fully submersible with batteries, diesel engines, so it can go all the way down and stay for some time under the water. First case, I guess, in the world, fiberglass, twin engines, as you can see. The one on the bottom left is the one we got last year. Similar, but doesn't have batteries. Those submariners know that. Has to navigate with the snorkel out. But it has the capacity to close the snorkel and go down about 10 meters, 15 meters, and stay quiet, no propulsion. And stay for we did all the tests for about 1 day. So when they realize that, the Navy is no longer there, or the NPA or whatever, they just go up, turn again the engines, and they can head on. So there's a difference between those two. So that one over there is more sophisticated. Same organization. All of these guys were captured with international cooperation. And the one on the bottom right is the latest. It's like a torpedo, a towed torpedo. Okay, the main routes that we're having in Central America. Basically, the big production is down in the Andean region, as you all know. And I will have some numbers right after this. So we have the go fast and semi-submersibles going here. And then in Central America, they use trucks inland going and trying to cross the Mexican border. They also use the semi-submersibles all the way to the Mexican coast. This is the Caribbean side, very quick. The routes that we have there. Have some coastal routes here through the Central American countries, north, and through this archipelago called San Andres, where they have some kind of logistics support. On the Pacific side, Colombia has these two coasts, close to the Panama Canal, Caribbean coast, Pacific coast. So in the Pacific, they use big routes like this one, all the way to Mexico, with semi-submersibles or fishing boats. And they use what we call the littoral through Panama, and Panama has become the biggest accumulation point for drugs. And they jump all the states until reach North America. So that's one of the basic routes that we know at this time. What are we doing? Very, very quickly. I show here the strategies that individual countries or individual actions, but law and regulations, manual eradication, the control of the precursors, and interdiction. Each country, in this case Colombia, we have a lot of bilateral agreements, multilateral agreements, training, a lot of instruction and capabilities. And in the international side, there are two big initiatives. One is JIRAF South, well known in the United States, works out in Key West, where all the related agencies are working there. Coast Guard, the Navy, the Air Force, DEA, NAS, and the like. And almost every country in South America and Central America has a liaison officer over there. So this is I think it's a good team, have been there for more than 20 years, changing names and everything, but this is the big effort that we are having there. The other one is the MAOC narcotics out of Lisbon. This is a European Union initiative. 7 countries work there. It's like a coordination center. I have been there twice, working with them, sharing information. It has had some results, not the ones that we were expecting, but it's very important now because there's a lot of drugs going through Europe via West Africa. So it's another. Okay, for the international side is the agreements compliance, obviously, coordination of the plans, technical cooperation, intelligence sharing, very important. At this point, the Colombian Naval Intelligence is having instructors in almost all countries in Central America and Mexico. We were given that expertise that we already gained with the support of the United States and other countries. Judicial information, money laundering, and anti-terrorism operations. So this is very important if we want to accomplish something against this world problem. This is just a summary of what is the Colombian policy against the drugs. It covers the whole spectrum, as you can see in the bottom part. Crops, processing, final production, transportation and distribution, financial earnings, and consumption. This is a very comprehensive strategy of our country. So we have forced eradication, air spray, manual eradication, voluntary, this is very big right now, the voluntary eradication, a big program in the country that if a family is willing to take like manually all these crops, we will give them money and another seeds to change that production. So this is very big right now in my country and is having a very, very good impact right now. In the interdiction, everybody is involved, the Navy, the Air Force, in some places, the Army, and the National Police. I want to just to tell you that in the Colombian Navy, we have, the Coast Guard is a branch or brand of the Navy, belongs to the Navy. The Marines belongs to the Navy. So basically we have three aspects here. The Navy, the regular Navy with the surface, flotillas and everything, submarines, naval aviation. Then we have the Coast Guard, coastal operations, search and rescue and that, and the Marines, experts in the rivers and land. This is like a very important point because you don't see normally any Navy in the world with land jurisdiction or land responsibilities. We have more than 6 departments or states that are under the control of the Navy, land-wise, with the Marines and with naval forces. So it's kind of a tricky organization, but we gather all these services together. And the last two here, financial and consumption, are taken care of by other agencies, international support, the National Police, Ministry of Health, and the like. In the case of the Navy, this is our strategy here. Effective application of force. For that you need a lot of training, joint and combined operations, means with other countries and with other services, interoperational, command and control, training and doctrine, and logistics support. This is the basic of what this is what we call the assets deployment. How are we dealing with this? Basically, we have these 4 steps here: surveillance, detection, interdiction, and law enforcement. And we have made some MTGs, we call them mobile training groups. Task groups. Mobile task groups. And we have 3 types. Type A, frigate, OPV, CPV, and RRB is rapid reaction boat. The other one is with a submarine, a CPV, and a rapid reaction boat. And Type C is a smaller one. It depends on the situation and the location, a CPV and an RRB. This is to tell you that we are using all the Navy capabilities to work against this problem. And I'm not putting here the international cooperation, because normally with JIADF South, we will have another ship here, American ship or other countries that are participating in this, further out to help this effort. Basically is, you know, the MPA, Detection Operation Center, go to the frigate, launch the halo, and do the interdiction. That's it. The use of submarines have been very successful for the Colombian Navy. It's strange, maybe for submariners here, but with the sonar capacity, it's very accurate that you can hear this go fast, locate them, and send the ship with the helo to make the interdiction. So it has been a success for the Colombian Navy. I'll go through these real quick. These semi-submersibles, these guys used to get off, inflate a boat, sink the semi-submersible with the drug, and we have to go to a search and rescue operation. Nothing we can do. So we came up with this law, went to the Congress, and changed the law with no evidence, only to be in that boat or to construct or something, you are going to jail. And the United States did the same. So right now there are 2 countries with that kind of law, and we are helping our neighbors and other countries with this information so we can do it. All the international community can have some regulations about this. Just to finish, the impact. Here is some information about the price and the purity. So if you see here, the price has been going up and the purity has going down. That, in the long run, will say that the strategy is working. Andean region, the coca crops in the region from 2000 to 2011. You can see here about 153,000 hectares of cocaine. Slight decrease over the years. Here you can see the production capacity. For last year was 850 tons, more or less estimated with the different agencies, and we capture 415, almost half of that. If you go back to 2006, 2005, it was like 1/3. So somehow we are getting better, and there's something additional about the precursors that have been increasing in the seizures. And here's Colombia. I'm not going to talk about other countries, just Colombia. You can see that in Colombia, the crops have been decreasing steadily from 163 to 64,000 right now. So it's a big program in Colombia. The seizures in Colombia, you can see, almost a half. And this year, we are doing very good here. So far, 142. And we still have 3 months left. This is the regional cooperation. We have agreements with all these countries, bilateral and multilateral. We work with all together and with all countries that are working with Jayat Afsar. So this is very important for the strategy. And finally, as I was telling you, we have gained a lot of experience in this kind of interdiction process. So we are giving mobile training teams to all the Central American countries. Right now we have people in Costa Rica working for the last 2 weeks doing training with them. And we have the International School of Maritime Interdiction in Cartagena. Already have made 8 courses, 24 countries, 149 students. So This is very big. This is our kind of our contribution to the overall strategy. And we are also learning a lot from officers, from the navies, Coast Guard, and other services that joined that school. So we intend to continue with this effort. Finally, I mean, much more time, I can have more details for any one of you in the Q&A section, but my first concern is this, the first one here. These boats can be used to make real damage. And there's a lot of things going on the world. We found something similar in Sri Lanka, similar kind of artifacts like this one. So it's not like only in South America. So cooperation and teamwork, I think, is very important. It's the only way. Yesterday we were discussing that the navies are particularly special to do that. Navy officers can talk each other, they join at sea, they have the ability to communicate and to take on all these kind of actions. So while other services in the countries itself, you know, the ministers of foreign relations and the like, they don't have this ability that we have here. Navies can talk to each other. And the strategy is working, but needs more efforts from the international community, is what I think, to continue this trend to gain this war. I know that there's a lot of things going on, the legalization and everything, but I think this strategy is working. The only thing is we need to keep the pressure on and put more effort on behalf of the international community. Thank you very much for your attention.